Welcome to All Things Moore County, Moore County's weekly radio show highlighting the many facets of the Sandhills. That includes real estate, lifestyle, community and neighborhoods. And now, from 4 Properties, here's your host, Bill Sahadi.
Good morning and welcome to the talk show, All Things Moore County. Dorothy, you've listened to me long enough to know how long I've been in this business, right? The real estate business.
Yes.
And I thought, I was at the top, like I couldn't go anymore. And I remember as a younger agent, whenever they would cite someone for being in the business for so many years, I had these visions of somebody getting up with a cane and gray hair and not maybe having all their balance. Well, my guest today is a much younger person that I've known since the year 2000. She's had her license since 1996. She is the broker owner of Coldwell Banker in Southern Pines. She's also the owner of the Southern Pines Real Estate Academy, which means that our guest, Cathy Larose, is also a licensed real estate instructor.
Nice.
She's had a career now that is approaching 30 years.
She doesn't look old enough for that.
No, she doesn't. And that's why I brought it up, because I want to make her feel very comfortable that we brought her in here. Her resume is impressive. She has been the past president of the MLS, a multiple listing service. She's been a member of the board of directors. She had way more patience than I ever did. She was the chair of the Professional Standards Committee. She was a member of the Grievance Committee. She has built an impeccable reputation in Moore County over the years, and she's continuing to reinvent herself. And we're here today to talk with Cathy Larose about a new I said it. And it's on the tip of my tongue.
It's a neighborhood.
It's a neighborhood. It's a new neighborhood,
right?
Located in Pinewild called Azalea Place. The reason that I had the Freudian slip was because living here for 26 years, I've seen so many areas bastardized and turned into what I call subdivisions.
Yeah.
This is not. And that's why I wanted her to come on and talk to people about this, because Linden Rd is such a beautiful road. It's part of the heart of Pinehurst. And if you go up and down Linden Rd from Pinewild all the way back to the Carolina Hotel, you see estate-type homes, estate-type lots, pine trees ushering over the roadway, and it's like being in a Currier and Ives postcard. So having said all that, it is a neighborhood, and we haven't had a neighborhood that looks like a neighborhood in a long time. Cathy, it's kind of hard to say that I've known you for 25 years.
That is true.
I don't know many people.
I was 15 when you met me.
Yeah, right. And by the time she ever will accept any sort of an award for longevity, I don't know if she'll have a Zoom presence here, or I'm not quite sure. But you have the energy of a 25-year-old. Azalea Place is exciting. You had a grand opening last week or a couple of weeks ago on the 30th of October. Tell me about it, and tell me about Azalea Place and how it all came to be.
Fantastic. We did. We had an opening last Thursday, October 30th at Pinewild. It was extremely well attended. We gave out a lot of valuable information.
Right.
I've been working on this project with this group for the past 3 years. We are finally coming to fruition, and I cannot wait to see us to start coming out of the ground and becoming vertical and having an actual product to sell. We are in the process right now of paving the first 2 roads of the neighborhood. The lots are absolutely gorgeous. They are going to save every single tree that is possible and create as many berms and areas that we can create of privacy for each lot, so that everybody can enjoy the lifestyle and convenience and quiet of Pinehurst. We are inside the gates of Pinewild Country Club of Pinehurst, so you will be in a gated community with security. One of the first things that this group did after purchasing Pinewild and all of its amenities is we completely remodeled the Linden Rd gate. So if you've ever been inside Pinewild and coming in off the gate, one of the first things you'll notice is how beautiful
Right.
the gate is now. It just
is.
is a gorgeous, gorgeous entrance. They will continue to improve amenities along the way. They've already put a tremendous amount of money into the golf courses. Of course, Chris Little is the general manager out there, has been there for a long, long time.
Yes, he is.
And he's going to be joined with a gentleman by the name of Chris Card, who is helping him with the renovations of the golf courses, as well as all of the amenity packages. We are doing a $18 million renovation to the clubhouse area. And if you've been to Pinewild and been to the country club and been to the facilities out there recently, you know that it's due, that we need to do that. They're going to increase the square footage of the club from 9,000 to almost 28,000 square feet. They are adding a venue. They are building a 2-story venue for weddings or parties, Christmas parties, bridal showers, whatever you want to do, which is going to be absolutely gorgeous.
Right.
They are adding a whole new fitness center. They are adding a new tennis pro shop, which they've never had before, so we'll be hiring a tennis pro as well. They're going to be adding pickleball courts. They're going to be adding a fitness center. So absolutely, it's going to be top of the line. This group, my husband Marcus and I flew to Cape Cod about 3 years ago when we first got introduced to this group to see who they were, what they were all about. We ended up at New Seabury, which is the last country club that they did, and it was absolutely amazing, just mind-blowing. I mean, their attention to detail, their understanding of what people expect from a club, what they want to see, what they want to do, how they want to enjoy their lives. This group certainly absolutely knows how to do that and has set that really, really high bar and high expectation.
The group that you're talking about, were they responsible for the new gate?
They were. They absolutely were.
I didn't know that.
Yes, they bought.
That was part of the agreement on the
Well, they bought all the amenities. So they bought all the golf courses. So, of
Okay.
course, Pinewild has 2 18-hole golf courses, 1 9-hole par 3, and a
Right.
3-hole challenge course.
That's right.
So when they purchased Pinewild 3 years ago, they bought all of the amenities. Now, the HOA technically works out of the gates, but this group did go in and do the upgrade. And at some point, we'll go in and do the one on 211 as well.
Okay. Let's go back to 1984, 1985, when you were younger than 15. Pinewild was a hunting preserve.
Yes.
I think it was 2,000 acres and change. And I remember the old cabin, which is still out there.
Still there.
And they were starting to sell lots. And Pinewild, over the years, I've seen it as one of the most successful residential gated communities in Moore County. Spacious lots, a civilized sense of privacy between the homes, not where they're, sitting on top of each other. And there's a real nice feeling as you drive around Pinewild.
Well, the great thing about Pinewild is there were already 600 plus existing homes when this transaction happened.
Right.
But the unique thing about Pinewild is the majority of those homeowners are full-time. So it's not a transient neighborhood like you see in many of the other neighborhoods. So there is a very big sense of community. They have lots and lots of member activities. You can really kind of go in and find your people and start your comfortable group. So there's lots of options as far as that is concerned.
So with as well developed as Pinewild is and as successful as it's been, what was the thinking behind all the land to the right of the main gate going on back that how did they decide that this would be the right place to do something like this?
Well, to be honest with you, we are still deciding what to do with the different phases. But when this group came in, there were 2 undeveloped phases. We refer to Azalea Place as Phase 5. That's where we have actually already engineered. We're starting the paving. We'll have 77 lots, and we are starting to sell those now. We expect to go vertical in January with 3 different models. And then the homes that I get under contract between now and the end of the year will start sometime in the middle of February. Phase 4 is a much much bigger project. We are looking at the possibility of 415 homes in Phase 4, possibly some multifamily, possibly not, possibly a new clubhouse, possibly not, but definitely are going to create a lifestyle in the reserve with maybe definitely a new restaurant. We had a meeting this afternoon. We were talking about different amenities. If you've ever been to Palmetto Bluff, things that they offer there. If you've ever been to Kiowa, things that they offer there. So we're really, really excited to get that project, but it is years away. So our focus right now is on Azalea Place, which is also going to be absolutely beautiful.
So if Linden Road is at your front door, you're a left-hand turn to the village.
That is correct.
Pretty simple.
It is pretty simple. And technically, and if you have a golf cart, Pinewild is a very golf cart friendly neighborhood.
Yep.
You can drive your golf cart all around Pinewild. Now, technically,
Right.
you're really not allowed to drive it from Linden Road to Donald Ross.
That's right.
But there is a path that
Yes.
is available.
I know a couple
We
of
don't own it, and I don't know how long it's going to be available, but there is a path that is available.
The other incentive that you're offering would be for new homeowners who were not previously members of Pinewild. You waive the initiation fee to join the club?
We do. We actually have two incentives, one for non-members and one for current members. So non-members will have their initiation fee waived.
Okay.
Right now, it's $40,000. By the time we close, I'm sure that will be up
Right.
even higher. One of the great things about what we're doing for the new owners in Azalea Place, though, is they can already activate their membership during the construction period, as long as they are paying the applicable monthly dues. So if you wanted to go ahead and become a member of Pinewild and be able to get in and out of the gate and play golf, that's something that new members are going to be able to do in Azalea Place. We are also offering an incentive to current members. We have a lot of interest from the current Pinewild residents that would like to downsize.
Right.
They're in these big houses. They want those houses gone, and they want to downsize.
Right.
So we will give them a $25,000 credit towards the purchase price
Okay.
for current members as well.
You mentioned at the beginning of the set golf course improvements. Can you tell me what kind of because I have a list, but you tell me what they're planning to do.
They have already done a tremendous amount of improvements to the golf course, really just basically going in and making a cleaner, smoother, more elegant experience than it has been in the past. The focus over the next year, though, is going to be much more on the clubhouse renovation. And I will say, the golf courses were already in pretty good shape. That was one thing that Chris Little has just done a fantastic job with all the years that he has been there. So they do U.S. Open amateur events there. They do U.S. Open events there. We've got Chris is really involved in the with the military groups that come out there. They do.
Great guy, by the way.
Oh yeah, he's fantastic. Chris is another one I've known since I was 14 for a long time.
And Chris is wow. You have a history.
Yes.
We're going to come back in the second set. We want to talk about the lot sizes. We want to talk about some of the plans. We want to talk about how people can get in touch with you. Are you going to have an office out on site?
Absolutely. We've actually already finished the development office. It's right off the 211 gate. So if you come in 211 and turn right on Kilbride, it's that very first driveway on the right.
Oh.
Our designer's already moved in there. Our GC has
Perfect.
already moved in there. Our project manager has already moved in there. And as soon as my furniture arrives, I will be moving from our Southern Pines location to that location so I can be boots on the ground.
With all the development that's been going on in the last 15 years, this is something to get excited about.
It is.
Not everything that's happened has been exciting in a good way.
Right.
But it sounds to me like Azalea Place is going to preserve the integrity of the Pinehurst experience and offer people new construction, but also downsize opportunities for, as you mentioned, current members. Cathy Larose is our guest for the hour. This is All Things Moore County. We'll be right back.
I'm so loud, I'm scared to get too close.
Welcome back to our second set of All Things Moore County. We're talking all about Azalea Place at Pinewild with Cathy Larose, who is the listing agent for all 77 home sites. And you've got quite an infrastructure being put together, not just with the homes and with what the club is doing, But with what your company is doing by having a presence there to shepherd this through, I need to know prices, floor plans, your design center, all the things that people who want to come in. It's like going to a fancy restaurant and picking what you want to eat a la carte.
Absolutely. And that's one of our goals. We really want this to be a concierge experience for these buyers. We want them to be able to come in, meet with me. I help get the contracts. I'm co-broking with other brokers. I welcome other brokers to come meet with me. I have a whole presentation that I do up front, of course, because we are pre-selling some of these homes before we're actually out of the ground.
Right.
But we are very excited. We hired a company out of California to actually design 5 different plans specifically for these lots in this neighborhood. So these plans will be something you've never seen before. We have plans. We have one-story plan that's about 2,600, 2,700 square feet. It's got 3 bedrooms on the main floor, as well as a very large unfinished area upstairs. That's called the Amelia. I've had a lot of interest in the Amelia. It is our smallest plan. It is our least expensive plan. But, of course, for people that are looking to downsize, that really works for them as well. My favorite plan is our second plan. It's called the Sunburst. And what is super, super cool about the Sunburst is it offers it is a 2-story on the main house. So it offers 3 bedrooms in the main house, but it's got a detached guest house with a little kitchenette, a full bathroom, big bedroom, and a walk-in closet. What I'm telling clients about the Sunburst, of course, you know, the USGA has moved here and we've got the U.S. Open for every 4 years for the next who knows how long. This would be a great U.S. Open rental. Of course, the only time you can ever rent inside the gates of Pinewild is during the U.S. Open.
Right.
But if you wanted to stay and just rent your 3-bedroom main house and stay in your guest house, it would be a perfect option. It also would be very, very desirable. Of course, Marcus, my husband, and Sandhills Rentals rent the primary houses for the U.S. Open, and so it's going to be very attractive. It also is going to have a courtyard in between the guest house and the main front door where you can build a fire pit, or you can just tile it, whatever you want to do out in that. So it's a really, really cool plan. We have a daybreak plan. That's a plan that we are currently building inside the gates of Pinewild on 62 McMichael. So we're getting our hands wet, just trying to figure out timelines and things like that. The Daybreak is a great plan. It's another 2-story plan. It's a little under 3,000 square feet. It has a ton of storage. So if you're looking for a house that needs a lot of storage, it has a huge unfinished storage area upstairs. One thing that all plans offer is we do have encapsulated crawl spaces. We do have 2-car garages with a golf cart garage as well. And we've brought natural gas into this section of Pinewild. So you'll have tankless water heaters, gas cooktops, gas stoves. We have 2 really big, what I call family plans. We have the Royal. The Royal is a fantastic plan. It actually offers 2 primary suites, one on the main floor as well as one on the second floor. And then we have the Windbeam. That's our biggest plan. And we are currently building that plan at 43 Pinewild Drive. So we just have finished the foundation. You pass that on your left when you're going in. Yep. So we've just have started the foundation with that one.
Okay.
But these houses are phenomenal. We are going to be building 3 models inside the gate of the Azalea. You'll see if you go to pinewildcc.com and click on Azalea Place, you'll see that there are the first 4 lots 1, 2, 3, and 4 are blue colored. That's because lot 1 is going to be a parking lot, and lot 2, 3, and 4 are going to be the 3 models. So we do have a development office that we have just finished off of Highway 211 gate, right off of Kilbride, but I will be moving my office from there into one of the models as soon as that is finished, which will be probably sometime the end of 26, about the same time the clubhouse will be finished as well.
So you'll use the model actually as a showroom.
Correct.
And will you have assistance by some of the contractors who will come in and sit down with the prospective buyers to pick and choose the finishes?
Absolutely, Bill. One of the great things about this project is this team that I'm working with. You know, you and I back in the day ran around by ourselves in our car, hauling doorstep to doorstep and doing it all ourselves.
Right.
This team has just been phenomenal. phenomenal. We have a incredible design. Her name is Susanna, and she actually did all the design for the 164 homes that this company built in the Cape prior to coming here. So as soon as she found out about this project, she sold her house and moved her husband down here and
That's great.
bought a house, and she is phenomenal. It's going to be a really great experience because you'll be able to come in, you'll be able to work with me, we'll be able to get all of the details of your contract together, and then you'll go with Susanna. And if she doesn't have it, if she doesn't have what you're looking for, or there's something that you want to do, I had a client today that we should be getting under contract tomorrow who's a cabinet maker. So he wanted to build his own cabinets. So that's something that they'll do.
Is that right?
It really is. I
and
mean,
still keep the warranty in place?
and still keep the warranty in place. Well, we
Wow.
have our own warranty. And then, I had a client that wanted to order all their tile from Italy. So we let them do that. If you want an appliance that we don't have available, and it's something, what we cannot do where our hands are tied predominantly are structural changes. But outside of that, Susanna, if it's doable,
Yeah.
she is willing to work with you. We've got a couple clients that want to put in pools, and as soon as I realized that was something that was going to be needed, we went and contracted with a local pool company. And that's something to keep in mind. We are interested in using as many local vendors as we can use as well. So like Elite is doing our roofing, and they've already started putting the shingles in on McMichael.
Right.
But she just really wants this to be, we want you to be able to customize your home as much as possible. And we want the neighborhood to look very customized, not where you go in and see the same thing over and over.
So the mention of pool installation brings up, I know this is not a question you can answer with a number, but the lot sizes. 77 lots. What do they range from, small to large?
They are between half an acre and an acre.
All of them?
All of them are.
So minimum is a half acre?
Minimum is a half acre. And it's all public utilities, electric, water, and like I said, natural gas. So there's plenty of room on the lots. And like I said, we have designed these particular floor plans to fit on these lots so that you do have room for your customizable landscaping or pools or things like that you want to put in.
So the spacing of these homes will not be much different than for some of the homes on Edinburgh, for instance, or maybe a little bit
A
smaller.
little bit smaller, and we are really doing a good job making sure that we've got really good privacy and berms in between the current houses that are on Pinewild Drive and the current houses on Edinburgh and the current
Right.
houses on Stony Kirk, so that we all still will feel that privacy. This is also a building company that is not interested in taking down trees at all. In fact, I had a client today that wants to walk the lot before we clear it. We'll clear each individual lot as we sell the homes. And if you want to keep every tree on there that's outside of the building envelope, that's something that we can offer you. If you want to go through with the builder and kind of handpick what you want to keep and what you don't want to keep, that's something that we'll do. As long as it's aesthetically pleasing, that is something that we will do with you.
Okay. Quick question. Are you surprised that they didn't do more than one single-story model?
We talked about it, and we talked about it, and we talked about it. But the problem is the footprints for a single level are much bigger than the footprints for a two-story.
Right.
And when you're trying
Right.
to create privacy, you're trying to create a neighborhood that looks very customizable, it's just as difficult to do that.
But you'll let the numbers fall where they may. If somebody comes in, from where I sit, I think there will be a lot of demand for a single level with no stairs.
So it's funny that you say that. I really thought so too. And maybe it's because I love the sunburst because I'm selling that quite a bit.
I made a note that you loved it.
I do. But so far I have 7 clients that I'm working on contracts with.
Okay.
And 2 are the Amelia, the smallest plan. 2 are the Sunburst with the guest house. 1 is the Daybreak with the storage upstairs. And 2 are the bigger. One's the Royal, and one's the Windbeam.
Oh.
And we have a very sophisticated program that will not allow me to sell the same floor plan next door to each other or across the street from each other.
Smart.
And our designer, again, Susanna, will make sure that the colors are all complementary and that they're different, and that they look, again, like a very customized neighborhood.
And there will be a separate HOA?
There's a small separate HOA. It's about $56 a month, and that's really just to cover the stormwater. Absolutely.
That's it?
That's it. It's about $56 a month. The dues for the club, the main club, are about starting in 26. They're going up a little bit, so they're about $14.26 a year.
Okay.
And this will add another, $50. But we are going to sod all of the right of ways and irrigate them, so that we have that beautiful, fresh, green look going in for the neighborhood.
Okay. So many questions. All right. Price parameters.
So price parameters are going to be between 1.1 and 1.5 million. Okay. We do have some lots that are more pleasing for some floor plans than others. We also have some lots, like I said before, that are over an acre. So there will be different lot prices for each house. And also each of the 5 plans have 3 elevations. So you can choose from a farmhouse style elevation, which is the exterior, or you can choose from a modern elevation, or you can choose from a shingle elevation. So each price for those elevations is going to be different, but it's going to be in that range.
The prices that you just quoted were for the homes, not for the lots?
No, that's turnkey. We'll deliver you a completely finished product.
So you're not requiring them to purchase the lot up front?
No.
Okay.
One of the great things about this group that I'm working with is they have absolutely no debt. It is all cash from the purchase of Pinewild to the building of the lots. No debt whatsoever.
Okay. There are the list of features that each home is going to have. Are they listed as standard features? And of course, would there be upgrades, or is it all inclusive?
The standard
minus substitutions that the buyer may want to make.
Correct. And the standard featured list is loaded. I mean, just if you don't make one upgrade, you're going to have an absolutely beautiful house. Okay. But yes, working with Susanna in the design office, there are many upgrades that are available to you. And like I said, we just added the swimming pool. We have outdoor kitchens that are available to you, outdoor fireplaces that are available. We have upgrades and we're doing all Kohler plumbing fixtures now, but if you want mowing, we'll do mowing. We're doing all GE stainless steel appliances, but if you want a Viking, we'll do a Viking. If you want a Wolf, we'll do a Wolf.
And just pay the upgrades as you go.
You just pay the upgrades. And the way the financing is working, upon contract signing, we're looking for $20,000 in earnest money. 20% of the purchase price in earnest money. And then as far as the design center goes, that is something you will deal directly with the builder with, and they're going to be looking for 25% of the upgrade cost up to $150,000, and that will be non-refundable.
Only 25%?
Only 25%.
I don't understand that. Do you?
Well, Susanna's going to make sure that they don't make any terrible choices, so as long as the...
But normally, the builder would ask for more than that percentage.
Absolutely. Yeah, this, like I said, we really want this to be exclusive, pleasant, wonderful experience for the buyers. I'm even going to hire a concierge at some point, so if you bring me a buyer bill, instead of you having to go out there every week and check on the property, I'll have a concierge that will be doing that for you and sending pictures to your client.
Azalea Place is going to be an exciting development. It sounds like a great neighborhood is going into a great location. Let's come back in the third set. This is All Things Moore County. Welcome back to our final set of All Things Moore County. We're talking all about Azalea Place with Cathy Larose. Cathy has been one of the most respected brokers in Moore County since I've known her, and her longevity speaks volumes. And, Azalea Place could be your crowning achievement. It could be a culmination of all the years you've been involved in new construction, all the years you've mentored agents, all the years you've worked with clients, to put it all together in such a way that you could invent a better wheel.
Right.
Do you look at it that way?
I do. I started this business at a time where we had real estate books.
Right.
And they came out once a month.
Right.
And you had to flip through the books. We also had a lockbox key. We all had individual lockbox keys that actually went into. And we've gone from that to having buyer clients that are out there now that know more about our market than many of the realtors do in this area. So real estate to me is like anything else. It is about networking. It's about people. It's about creating a great experience. And do we miss the boat on that from time to time? Of course we do. But it's about making it right, doing the right things, treating each other with respect. And I feel like I've been able to stay with the times and change the things that I'm doing. I've started with Ralph Huff was my first kind of big, and he's also my partner in many of our businesses. And he was a true mentor to me, and I learned so much through building with him. Of course, that was much more of a military market. We started the rental company from scratch. There was nothing there. We started the real estate school from scratch. We've been able to align our business with other businesses that complement us, mortgage businesses, attorneys, title companies, things like that, which has just been insane. But really, this group has just even been more of a brand new experience. They bring so much, number one, experience to the table, but they also bring, they're respectful. It's a great group to work with, and it's great to have, of course, we've talked about the design and we've talked about the GC, but my marketing director, he's the youngest one of all of us. He's actually taking his little girls to Disney tomorrow for the week, but he is just fantastic. And the way, I mean, honestly, this group has spent millions of dollars marketing this neighborhood before we even had anything to sell, and still are. And Jeremy just really has brought a tremendous amount of possibilities to the table. In fact, I have a CRM that is set up just, a contact management system that is set up just for this neighborhood. I have over 700 qualified contacts in that. 700 qualified. I have over 3,000 or not qualified yet or not ready yet. And that has just been, I've just got this funnel to be able to go into as a realtor and just use my voice or set in-person meetings and get people in front of me and sell them. And that has been easier than back in the day when we just had to run around and we didn't even know what was available. So this group they're extremely professional. They're extremely educated. We all respect each other. We all work together as a team, and all of that support so that I really just have to concentrate on the client and making sure the client gets what they want, and to get their contract solid with them has been an incredible experience.
So between 2000, when I met you, I think 2000, and today, you and I have seen many ups and downs. It's like a roller coaster that never stops. And I think we look at it today without any drama. We just understand that our market is like a bird in flight. And I don't know that a lot of the newer agents, they don't get it because they've only been used to 5 or 6 years of, this is,
Yeah, we've seen it all, Bill. I mean, when I started in 96, it was a fairly decent market. I look back now, though, and think about interest rates. I mean, even back then, they were 7%, 8%, 9%, but I was brand new to the market. I was 24 when I started, and that's the true story. I was 24 when I started selling real estate here, and it was a good market. I mean, it was a really good market. And then, of course, I went through the crash, and we went through the crash, and that was a challenge. And then we went through the boom of COVID, and that was fantastic. Now we're slowing down again.
So let's talk about that.
Yes.
Because in the position that you're in, I mean, I agree with you. We're in a quirky world.
It is.
It's not just a quirky real estate market. It's a quirky world that we're not used to.
Right.
And yet here you have this product hitting market and rolling out the red carpet. And what do you tell people who they want to move here, but we have to tell them to turn their TVs off and turn their computers off and not listen to social media and listen to all the noise and all the misinformation. So long term, what do you tell them about Azalea Place, where it fits in, what it's going to be?
Well, I tell you, I've got a tremendous amount of help as well from just Pinehurst. Pinehurst is such a jewel, and it's so well known. And the golf and I can talk to the golf. I've played almost every golf course in town. I can talk to the sales. I have 2 clients that are actually considering writing up contracts now that have never even been to Pinehurst. But I can sell it to you in 10 minutes because we know, I mean, we just have such a wonderful, wonderful place here. We raised our kids here. I raised my kids here. And where we are seeing quirks, in my opinion, is more that $400,000 to $600,000 market.
I agree.
And that's
The
because of
mid-market.
It's the mid-market, and
Yep.
that's because of the military. I mean,
Yep.
unfortunately, I think their hands are just getting tied
Yep.
with what they can do with interest rates and what they can sell and the uncertainty of. Now, I want to thank all of you military clients that are out there for your service. And our son is actually in the Army. He's in Arizona right now, getting ready to go to Germany. And I asked him the other day, I said, "Are you getting paid?" He said, "I am." But you know who's not getting paid are the civil contractors to the military, the civilians. They're not getting paid. And that's a huge crush to us.
Yeah.
The elegant market, the million-plus market, is better than it's ever been.
Yeah, it's been a stronger market.
It has. I mean, we've got clients coming from California that are selling their houses for ridiculous prices, from New York, that are coming here from Michigan, that are coming here from Florida, Texas, and they're cash. They're ready to go because they did well. But my heart bleeds for that mid-market because I think interest rates will solve that. That's my experience. I think all that you and I have learned in the last 30 years is we don't know what we don't know. We can guess, but we don't know what we don't know.
So draw for me a demographic, the target that you're looking for. How do you see Azalea Place filling up age-wise, retirees versus people who are working from their home? And I'm sure some of your models are set up for that as well, a home office.
Almost every plan, I think every plan has an office that is included. But so I really did not know where we were going to go with this. I really thought in the beginning that we would have a lot of block and leave clients, that clients were going to sell their home and move into this neighborhood, and it's gated, it's safe, it's right there in Pinehurst, and they can travel and possibly live here part-time. That is not what I have seen. The demographics of what I have seen are everything. I'm working with young families with children, I'm working with empty nesters, I'm working with retired clients, I'm working with a widow, and he just wants to be back here and be somewhere where he can have neighbors and get to know people. His wife passed away, and he's just devastated. So it's really been a plethora of demographics in Azalea Place. And I'm excited to see that because the more diverse we can be, the better we can be. And I really am excited to see that primarily the people that are buying in there right now are buying it for their primary home and not for a second home.
Yeah. Who is your competition?
Nobody now. Our timing has been pretty good. Of course, we're always going to compete with gated neighborhoods, the Country Club of North Carolina, Forest Creek. Forest Creek, though, has gotten priced out of the market, though. They really have had a boom out there. And CCNC, of course, has no new construction. There was one other neighborhood off of Linden Rd that was new construction, but it's pretty much almost sold out. So we really... Pinehurst has not seen a development like this, in my opinion, ever, where a group can come in and improve the club and improve the amenities and put this elegant product out the way that they have done. And like I said, we've got another phase down the road, and I don't even want to talk about that because I don't want to compete with Azalea Place, but we have another project that's years away that's gonna really be a compliment to Azalea Place inside the gates of Pinewild as well.
Okay. So let's, this has been a great hour of conversation with you and a lot of good information. So people who are listening who may be not here locally, where do you want to direct them to go first? How do they start the process of getting in touch with you and getting all the information they want and putting them in front of you?
Absolutely. The first thing I would like to do is suggest that you go to pinewildcc.com. Please click on the Azalea Place tab, and then that will take you to the real estate tab. You are going to be required to put in your name, your number, or your email, but that is just so that you can go into our contact management program that I was talking about earlier, so that going forward you can be updated as we progress through Azalea Place. You may be invited to a special event, or you may want to find out more about the club membership and how that works. So I would encourage everybody to go there first. That will come directly to me if you show that you have an interest in real estate, and then I will contact you after that. Also, you can always call me on my cell phone, Cathy Larose, at 910-690-0362. Or, of course, you can reach me by email. Email is clarose, Larose, and that's going to be at Homes, HOMES, CBA, as in Coldwell Banker Advantage.com. You can also just call me up and come see me at my office. I have offices in Southern Pines, Pinehurst, and now our new development office off of Kilbride.
Yeah, and you can also see Cathy any hour of the day, including the nights, because I don't see a whole lot of sleep in your future.
I know.
I truly don't.
I considered retirement, but I just keep getting sucked back in. But this has been well worth it. It's a fantastic.
So
group.
one more question before we wind up. Talk to me a little bit about how you're participating in the Moore County community with all the co-brokers that are out there, and what can they expect, and any direction or information you want to give them.
Co-brokers, you are absolutely welcome to meet with me. I have encouraged the co-brokers, the other agents outside of our office that are interested in Azalea Place to bring their clients to me so that I can do the presentation for both of them in person. I'm also available to present to you by Zoom or by telephone if I have to. I really want you to be able to see the visuals, though, and experience what we're doing. We are offering a co-broke fee of 2.5% of the sales price to all co-brokers, and I am prudent about making sure that every buyer I speak to, I upfront ask, are you working with another agent? So I can go and put that in the database and tag that client with that realtor.
I can back you up on that. Nobody understands the rules of agency as well as you.
Right.
I mean, and I think the two of us share a tremendous amount of respect for the agency.
Yes.
And working and being honorable.
Right.
So I don't think anybody, if they don't know you,
Right.
trust me, you can take her word.
That's right.
She's good for it.
I'm too old to be sneaky.
No.
I'm all up front.
and no drama.
I always have been. No drama.
All up front.
Right.
Cathy Larose, we wish you the very best with Azalea Place. I think we're going to be hearing a lot about it, and I think it's going to be a very busy spring.
Right, me
You
too.
probably can't wait till the holidays are over.
That's right. That's
Right?
right. Well, thank you, Bill.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Would have loved to have gotten you in here earlier for many different things, but I'm glad you could make it for
I'm
this.
glad you thought of me and invited me. I'm happy to be here.
Thanks. We will wish everyone a great week, and we'll talk with you next week. This is All Things Moore County.